Hello 143 class, this is chapter 4 review, problem number 17. So if you see here, we're talking about a mortgage. So this one, I would use the mortgage calculator from our Excel spreadsheets. And what it's telling is you can afford monthly payments is $700. So that's going to be your payment down here, rounded in nearest cents. Okay, so we're trying to figure out what to make the home selling price to make this 700. Okay, and part 2 is going to ask, well, what if we make a 10% down payment? Now how much in the form can we borrow? Alright, so what we need to do for the first part is play around with this number until this gets to be a 700. Okay, so right now it says 820. That's too much for 700, so let's go down to like 150 just for a starting place. So home selling price is 150. The down payment is 0 right now, because right now it's just talking about the first part is not saying that we're making a 10% down payment. So at 150, I got a little bit of room to play with. I can get up to 700, so I'm gonna make it a little bit higher at 155. Oops, and home selling price. I'm gonna make this 155 now. All right, still a little bit more, so let's go up to like 157. All right, we're getting close. So 157 gets me to 699.75. 157.040, still a little bit low. 157.050. Alright, 157.050 is still a little low. 157.055. Alright, 157.055. Something that rounds to 700. Okay, it says round to the nearest dollar. So what I'm going to do here, even though I've got something that rounds to 700, it's below and it rounds up to that. I'm going to go up another dollar or two and see if I can get something that's above that number that rounds down to 700. Alright, and there we go. 157.056 still works, still rounds to 700. So I'm going to see if 157.057. Alright, that rounds to 701. So that's going to be at 157.056. Okay, so make sure that you do it, because if you would have done it 157.055, it would not have taken it, because that's a dollar more that we could have gotten. Alright, the second part is saying how expensive of a home can you afford if we are required to do this 10% down payment. Once you get the first part right, 157.056, you then say that that number, 157.056, is 90% of what number? And then that can be translated very easily into math. 157.056 equals 90%, we write as 0.99 or 0.90. And then of what number? We just replace that with x. Then of is multiplication. Of is multiplication. So 0.9x equals this number, and then to solve it, you just end up dividing both sides by the 0.9. Alright, so I have to divide 157.056 by 0.9. There's 174.506 and some change, so we'll round it to 174.507. And again, that's what we got right there, 174.507. Alright, so that's again an easier way. Once you get that number right here, just divide that number by 1 minus whatever you're required to make your down payment as a decimal. So if it had been 20% down payment, I would have done 157.056 divided by 1 minus 0.2 is 0.8, and then that would have been my answer.